Welcome everyone. Today I'm introducing you to Precious Yamaguchi, who is the co-owner of this amazing space here in Ashland called Catalyst. So I wanted to let her tell us a little bit about the space because there's a lot going on here and hopefully a space that you'll be able to come check out and use.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for being here today. This is Catalyst Ashland. My husband and I, we opened it up during the pandemic, November 2021, and it was really a response to what we were seeing within our community of people needing places to work, lack of computer and mobile device repair, representation of different identities in terms of art and creative projects, and also being able to have a podcast studio, a place where people could come and talk about the content that they are interested in without having to worry about production or equipment or platforms. We do that all for them. And then also the wine cellar, who has been in Ashland for over 40 years, is our tenant. They literally moved from a cellar above ground to the space in Catalyst Ashland. So it's 5 different businesses all under one roof. It used to be the Ashland Art Center. It was vacant 2 years before we moved in here, so there was nothing in here, and we saw it as a great central location to have all of these different type of businesses and a meeting spot.
Excellent. So now the podcast studio, which is where we're sitting right now, is that available to anyone by an hourly rate, or they book it for a day, or how do people book this space? And then you said it includes some other things as well. Tell me a little bit about that, because with podcasting becoming so popular, this is great to have.
Yeah, I think that during the pandemic, I really started to listen to a lot more podcasts and watch live streams on Instagram. And we would see, my husband and I would see that people had great content, but the production, they would be like, oh, is this on? And we're like, no. Or they would lose connection. So we really wanted to respond in that way to make it accessible to people. And also for people to feel like they didn't have to have any techie experience. They didn't have to have the platforms or know how to use a different type of software. So we have all the different software and platforms and mics and cameras, all of that available to people. And yes, it's completely open to the public. 2 hours for $15, and it doesn't matter whether you come and you already have everything set up in terms of your own platform and all of that type of the software and all of that, and you just want to come and record, you could do that. Or if you're a person that has nothing set up, it's still the same rate. So we've definitely have had some great podcasters, people that are on the City Council of Ashland, nonprofit, gamers, astrologers, like Ashland Health and Wellness type of people. And they all have different ranges, just like all of us, different ranges of technical literacy. So whatever it is, it's still just 2 hours for $15. And we really wanted to make just our space in general accessible to people and have people come, share their content, bring mostly themselves, and not have to worry too much about all these other things that maybe people have to worry about, technical things or insurance or stuff like that.
Right. And that is a huge weight lifted off of many people, because a lot of people, like you said, they do have that content, but they don't have the tech experience.
Right.
So that is super helpful.
And so they don't have to do it in their kitchen or their bathroom, record in their kitchen or bathroom. And that's for students and just our regular Ashland or Southern Oregon people. There's so many people that have so much to say, but maybe just don't have the setup that they need. So we really wanted to just provide that for our community. We also have a classroom space, which we rent out for $15 for 2 hours, and the teacher or instructor or whoever wants to use it, they can charge whatever price that they want, and they receive 100% of whatever they are charging and only have to pay $15 for 2 hours.
And then you also have the repair services. So that's for phones and computers that people
Yeah. So I met my husband back when we were 17 years old at a summer camp, and we were just friends. We were there I was a yearbook editor. He was the editor for his school newspaper, and then we went different ways. I went in communication, and he went in communication in the Marines. So having grown up in like the 90s and early 2000s, he was doing a lot of technical work, both hardware and software, just as a hobby and for work and for the Marines. So he has a lot of experience in terms of whether it's cell phones, iPads, computers, all of these different things. And he teaches some of our senior community how to use their iPads, but then he could go into a deep dive of, well, let's see what's wrong with this computer. Recently, he's been doing even Apple Watches, so like his super tiny things to larger projects. And just throughout time, yeah, we've had a lot of experience in communication technology. Both he and I have different areas of focus in that, but there's not a whole lot of options within, especially Ashland, for computer or mobile device repair. So that's something that has been a wonderful interaction between us and the community.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And the art studio, which I had a chance, and we'll be able to show viewers a little bit downstairs to be able to see that space. Yeah, we'll do a little tour around so people can really check out the whole space. But tell us a little bit about the art.
So my degree is, my undergraduate degree is in studio art, and it's always been a passion of mine, but I'm a communication professor, so I went to graduate school in communication, but art has always been within my heart. And also it's been, my father was an artist, my grandparents, they were involved in creative areas. And so one of the things that we really wanted to do here at Catalyst was to really highlight some of the marginalized identity artists that are within the area, within Oregon, and even like Northern California. So we started our first show November 2021 with James Florendo, who is the uncle of Hava Florendo and the brother of Brent Florendo. They are all affiliated with the indigenous community here in Southern Oregon and Southern Oregon University. James Florendo, he used to teach at University of Oregon. And so we really wanted to make a statement that our first show, we want it to be something that is very situated in Southern Oregon. And what better way than having an indigenous artist. And from there, we've had some really big art shows. Last year we had a 35 plus artist collective art show with the Project Pollinator Rogue Valley group, who really they had everything from like a giant bumblebee to different types of paintings and sculptures surrounding the narrative of what the environment and the bees and all of the pollination and their projects and their nonprofit we're working on. And then in February, we had a huge art show that I think was one of the highest, if not the highest attended of this year in terms of the Ashland Galleries, which was the Afro Scouts. They are the youth group affiliated with the Black Alliance Social Empowerment Group in Southern Oregon. The students, they were from 4 years old to 18 years old, and it was their first art show that they ever put on. And then we have right now we have Rachel Mulder and Ahuva Slavsky from Portland, who have both very different types of methods. One is cyanotype, which is like a sun print. It's like being able to put different things on paper and then put chemicals, almost like you are a human camera. And then Ahuva's, hers is a lot about her identity and her narrative and being a Jewish woman. She grew up in Tel Aviv, and they did a collaborative project of their art together, which is downstairs right now. Really, it's very interesting because they both have very specific color palettes that they like to use. So Rachel, she says she kind of can't help it because cyanotypes, what comes out as the blue and white. But Ahuva talked about how she has always been attracted to this type of ochre color that is pretty much in every painting that she does, and that she has certain inclinations of using colors as well as staying away from other colors. She says she's definitely not like a green person, like when she's had to do landscapes. She finds that very hard, but throughout her memories, a lot of different types of interactions and moments started to come out once she started to paint. But we've represented everything from Asian American, LGBTQ, different artists with different accessibility identities, and so they're all out here, and we just really wanted to highlight the work that they're doing. Some of them are very professional artists, and then we also want to welcome people who are new artists like the Afro Scouts group, who they did art just for this show, and it was their first time curating a show.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's great to get that exposure. Especially for youth, I think, too.
Yeah, I think so, too. And they even sold their art, too, so, at first they were shy, but we're like, get the experience of going up to a person, tell them, hi, my name is so-and-so. Do you want to see my artwork? And then tell them about it. Tell them the story. And they did a great job. They sold a lot of artwork that night and that month. I was so proud of them. Yes.
Wonderful. And just on the topic of diversity and equity, I know that you sit on the commission of Ashland. Is that correct? You want to tell folks a little bit about that organization and your work there?
Sure, yeah. In June 2021, the first ever City of Ashland Social Equity Racial Justice Commission started, and I was on the commission. It turned into a committee, which is still pretty much the same as the commission. And then last year in 2022, I became the co-chair of the Social Equity Racial Justice Committee, and we do a lot of different events, really trying to highlight the different identities and diversity in Ashland. And also we push for different types of engagement. We have met with the Ashland Police Department a couple of times, or a few times, Ashland School District, Southern Oregon University, and then also we try to make relationships with like the commission, the KD Commission in Medford, and being able just to have these relationships where we're connected in Southern Oregon, and also do celebrate the different events and holidays.
Excellent. Sounds like a good partnerships,
too.
It is. And I can see where there's kind of a triangulation of all your worlds coming together.
Yeah. I'd say in Southern Oregon, it's not heavily diverse enough where we have like neighborhoods where it's like real identifiable by culture, but we are here. There's people of all different cultures, Asian American, Black, Indigenous, Latinx, and more. But it's mostly being able to try and find each other and like find ways to support each other, know about the different resources that we can share or offer each other. And a lot of times, even with the help of social media, sometimes we find out about events like after the fact. So really being able to try and coordinate, how can we support each other? How can we attend your event? Or what do you need? Or, we heard something happen. How can we support in that way? Yeah.
All right. Well, I am very excited to take people on a tour and show them around. But for folks here who are watching, where can they find you in Ashland?
We are in the heart of Ashland, downtown Ashland, 357 East Main Street, Ashland. We're a block away from the library. We're across the street from Pie and Vine and Raw Juice. We're the former Ashland Art Center was, if you know where that is, and we have a purple awning.
All right, excellent. Well, come stop by if you need a place to, do some work, or you need the podcast studio, or you're an artist and you want to be able to present your art. This is a wonderful place to do it. I hope you'll come check it out. And thank you so much for sharing all that information with us.
Thank you.